Hey guys, Sweet and Sour have finally made an FPL and we want you to get involved.
Absolutely. Cash prizes for first, second, and third, along with random prizes throughout the entire season. So, what are you waiting for? Come and show us what you've got.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. I'm really looking forward to today's video. What we are doing is our first ever combined Premier League 11. It's something that we're going to do every single week. Hopefully the thumbnail stands out. Hopefully loads of you are watching it. And of course, just like it seems like a regular basis now, you're going to have James's graphics just to brighten up your day that little bit more.
I've got to admit, this one's pretty decent. I'll give you that. It's interactive as well. So, yeah, and of course we're going to be doing a combined 11, which we thought might be better than us bringing up our own 11 and debating it that way. We're going to have to agree at some point as well in our final 11. So I'm sure there's going to be a few disagreements. So yeah, let's see. Let's bring up the presentation.
It's just a thing of beauty, isn't it? I mean, guys, as you can probably see on your screen, there are, I believe, 14 players. There are 3 positions. Oh, is there 4? No, there's 4 positions, I think. 4 positions that we don't agree on.
Yeah.
Well, 4 positions plus the manager, because I think we'll have a look. It's been a long day. You're going to see who those people are in a short moment, but we just wanted to show you effectively this is how it's going to work. And we also chose a manager. Obviously, no prizes for guessing who we've chosen, and we can't agree. So find out who's chosen who. Scott, should we jump straight into it?
Let's go straight into it.
Let's go. So, guys, these are the 7 people that we have agreed on. And I think, do you know what? 99% of you out there watching it would probably have 6, if not 7 of these players already on the pitch. We need another defender, we need a midfielder, and we need that all-important number 9. Scott, let's quickly go through the team that we've agreed on, and I'll just throw it straight over to you for Raya. What a start.
Yeah, definitely what a start. And what made it more funny is that the fact that Arsenal have been linked to him pretty much since January, and then it went a bit dead because they decided to obviously prioritise other priorities. Clean sheet against Arsenal, made some big saves in the second half with first half, with Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe. Those saves were crucial, really, in that first half. And an interesting fact about
Lacazette.
What's that?
Did you say Lacazette?
It weren't Lacazette, was it?
I thought you said Lacazette, and I was thinking, no, I'm not going to stop him in case he actually is right. But no, do you mean Pepe and Balogun?
That was the one, Balogun. Yeah, carry on. An interesting fact about Raya, of course, is the fact that whilst at Blackburn, he actually went on loan to the 9th division of non-league. And that was when he came as a kid, pretty much. He was really young at the time, and he said that was key to his development. So it just shows how far he's come on since then.
I completely agree. He had to go in there for me. There was 1 or 2 others. There weren't many clean sheets this weekend, so you can't really look past a keeper that didn't keep a clean sheet. Moving on to, let's go straight to the young man, Trevor Chalobah. I mean, just what a debut. You encompass everything about his performance. The leaked tweet from 4 or 5 years ago when he promises his mom he's going to make it. And, you know, that must mean so much. In my position, if I was to do it, I would be like, you know, doing everything I can for my mother and my family. But of course, he's a person of colour. His mom would have had to have struggled, probably had so many jobs, and, you know, they would have gone through struggles as well. So with everything that's gone on in the last year or so, without getting political, I haven't even spoke about his performance yet, but that must have meant so much for him on a personal level. And I think even neutral fans looked at that because he ran away, didn't he, in celebration after the goal, and he started to run, and then he just dropped to his knees, and it's like, yeah, you get it, you understand.
That's it. You could see the sheer passion, relief on his face. And we can't
Yeah,
look past the fact of how, of course, he got the goal. He also looked
yeah,
so convincing defensively. And,
yeah.
himself and obviously Marcus Alonso we're going to come on to. They've really gave Tuchel some problems, haven't they? When, the more known and more regular starting defenders come back.
I mean, I've got Chilwell in my FPL, and I can't, like, I was so tempted not to do it because I just had a funny feeling. Let's jump on to Alonso. I'll let you start as to why you've picked him. Obviously, played with Chalobah, great performance.
I mean, almost the same as what I've said about Chalobah. He just looked so convincing defensively. Obviously, he was great going forward as well. They kind of replicated themselves in that kind of way, obviously playing different positions. But yeah, I was just impressed with them both so much because obviously both not regular starters. You wouldn't know that, would you, if you didn't know your facts about Chelsea?
You wouldn't. I completely agree. I mean, Tanganga, for me, the pick of the defenders for the whole weekend. Listen, he got caught out once or twice in the first 10, 15 minutes where, maybe I say once or twice, 4 or 5 times as a whole defence. Maybe not himself so much, but City after those first 15, 20 minutes did not look great at all. I know Grealish skipped past him a few times, which of course he does to some of the best defenders in the world. But this guy was a rock. He can play right back, centre back. He's English. It's just more depth for the England team in that position. I mean, what can you say about that performance he put in? For me, best defender of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the fact he won the physical battle against both Sterling and Grealish, you can't speak any higher of him for that. And of course, a player which I think Tottenham fans have wanted to see more of for a couple of years now. So really happy he's been given the chance, and let's hope he's another one that young talent that will keep getting given time.
Yeah, I think he's actually 25, isn't he? So because I thought he was 21 or 22.
Oh, is he actually? I thought then, yeah, interesting.
I think he's 25. So obviously he's still got potentially 10 years at the top. By the time he's 35, players will be playing until they're 40 probably. Great. So the way it's going with sports science, but he's still young, and you are right. Sorry, that was the loudest motorcycle I've ever heard. I don't know if you heard that or not. I hope you didn't.
Let's move on to someone that was a bit of an engine rather than a cycle in midfield. And let's move on to Paul Pogba, of course. 4 assists, brilliant display. Unfortunately, Souness couldn't give him a compliment. He said that's what you expect from a £100 million player. But
I expect 4 assists a game. Come on, Gray. I love Graham Souness. I love the fact that Sky have kept him on at his age, who, by the way, hasn't aged in 20 years. But Graham, I'm a big critic of Pogba. I am. But you've got to say, on his day, it's just a joy to watch.
Unplayable on his day. We just need to see more of it going forward, don't we, from Pogba?
I need to get him in my FPL. That's what I need to do. I'll throw it over to you again. We'll get these done before we start debating, because the next 3 speak for themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what? I'll let you talk about all 3 at once, because, again, what else can you say about those front 3?
Yeah, definitely. And starting off with someone that is in my FPL and made me very happy, Mr. Bruno Fernandes. Scored himself a hat trick. So yeah, it was a great performance.
No penalties.
Yeah, exactly. He can't be called Fernandes, can he? So yeah, interesting one there. Obviously, Mo Salah. Norwich looked like they could have withstood Liverpool. It was certainly looking that way. And but Mo Salah was very much part of like the breakthrough really, and the free. Obviously got himself both a goal and an assist, and then just stepping up against. With Harry Kane not there, he stepped up to the plate and obviously scored the important goal to beat City.
Absolutely. Son was just a menace, and in a nice way. He's got all the trickery, he's got the flair, but, he's just not nasty in terms of a Roy Keane, but he's nasty that he just won't leave you alone. He's just like a bad smell, isn't he? Mo Salah is just the Egyptian king. What can you say? The assist he got as well, 2 goals and an assist. I don't think he gets that assist a couple of years ago. He doesn't square it to Firmino. He tries to score from a really difficult angle. And that's going to be the difference. Can Mo Salah get more assists instead of looking for can he get an easy assist rather than a difficult goal? And Bruno, hat-trick. I mean, the less I'll say is probably more of a compliment towards him. Or just probably man of the weekend, you've got to say, haven't you, really, being fair. Guys, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it straight over. Do you want to start with the manager? Oh, should we leave the manager till last?
Yeah, let's leave manager till last, and let's jump in with the centre defenders. So, obviously two there, but we've got to decide on one. I've gone for Duffy myself, and let me explain why. This guy had an absolute torrid time at Celtic last season. He admittedly said it was a dream move for him to play for Celtic. He had problems both mentally, mentally, and of course, just his whole experience at Celtic didn't go well. Obviously, Brighton themselves have lost like a pinnacle defender. I wouldn't call him their main defender because I think Brighton were in general were great defensively. But Duffy stepped in at the weekend. He was commanding. He was so commanding in his his leadership. He won every single header, really. I thought it was just a perfect display for someone that's had very little football. And from his own account said he thought his Premier League days were over. So, I mean, it's as much about his performance as also considering the other aspects for me, where you think that for him, he's really bounced back, and I think he's got to go in the team.
I disagree. I think it should be Ethan Pincock, just because he's just come into the Premier League. It's his first game, new stadium, fans behind you, dream come true. Probably thought he would never play in the Premier League unless he believed in himself, and I'm sure he did. And you think, well, those are only benefits. You're at home against a very bad Arsenal team. You've got a new stadium. It can go one of two ways. You could either rise to the occasion or just fall at the challenge that's ahead of you. To keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, I know Arsenal are garbage right now, but they are still Arsenal. They've still got that allure that, you probably wouldn't pick them as your first game. What makes him different? The reason I've got him in there is because he got the assist. His first ever Premier League game, he's kept a clean sheet against a top 6 side, and he's got an assist for the first goal. He's helped unlock that game and the defence of Arsenal to get them in the lead. And I just feel like
my counter argument to that would be the fact that the reason why we put Raya in, of course, without his great saves of Pepe and Balogun, obviously I got that wrong earlier. He would, they could have quite easily conceded 2. This is one I feel really, really strongly about with Duffy, and this is my one which I'm really struggling to back down on this one.
Oh no, don't say that, because before we started, I thought I could take Souček, but I think McTominay deserves it. It's gonna be hard to get me off with Richarlison. I'm giving it all away now. But this was my one as well. I was like, Pincock has to be in there. He's got an assist on his Premier League debut, and he's kept a clean sheet. Duffy did neither. He didn't get a goal contribution, didn't keep a clean sheet. Yes, he had a good game. He's played at the top level before. He's been in the Premier League. He's been at Celtic.
But he thought his Prem days are over. He's come back from obviously mental health struggles too. I just think...
I get that, but we don't know if Pincock's had the mental health struggles. We don't know. I don't know anything about him. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know his life, but he might have... I don't think you can use that against Pincock. This is a discussion of how good were they in that one-off game. He kept a clean sheet and got a goal contribution. Duffy did neither.
But I think you have to look at Look, we did say before we started recording this there would be one, but I hate it to be our first ever one, but we said there'd be one where we would let people comment and decide, are we going to go this way, that way? Because I'm really struggling to give up on Duffy, I'll be honest.
I can't believe... Do you know what? I'll do it. Guys, we did say that every 2 or 3 weeks we might have to have a standoff where we put it in the comments. Not only is it the first video, it's the first fucking player. I'm gonna have. This is what I'm gonna do, guys. Put it in the comments and let us know. I'm gonna have to put them really small. I do apologise. It's gonna screw their names up, but there you go. That's the best I can do for you. The name's on Raya's face, guys. Let us know, who's it gonna be. Is it Pincock or is it Duffy? I think a lot of people are going to agree with me. I think he has to get it. And I'm not playing down Duffy. He did have a good game, but for me, not the game that young Ethan had.
Look, we will
Let us
we will
know.
see. We will see. I mean, look, let's move on quickly to the next one because
Yeah.
the second I saw McTominay's face, this one's going to be a lot easier for us to make a decision on because the second I saw McTominay's face, I thought I might have messed up here. I'll be honest. When I saw McTominay on screen, I thought
I forgot about him.
But let me just quickly give my thoughts on Souček. I think he was superb all last season. Should be in the Premier League of this team of the season last year, and he just kept on going for that. Of course, Antonio missed the penalty, but Souček's reactions are what he got on the end of that and brought them back into the game. And then, of course, you know, he's just a superb box-to-box midfielder, and I think he had an absolutely superb game. But look, I'll let you make your McTominay points because I think this is going to go one way.
I think so. I mean, he's conceded 2 goals against a very poor Newcastle team. Why is he on this list? I would have put 2 or 3 players ahead of him.
I think his individual performance, he did well. But look, let's go on to McTominay.
Listen, he almost scored in the first 2 minutes again, just like last season when he did score against Leeds in the 6-2. I think he bossed that game. I'm not a big fan of United. They ruined my childhood. And for me, I'm happy having a whole midfield of Bruno, Pogba and McTominay. I've got no issues with that. Leeds, listen, yes, Bielsa, in my opinion, is overrated, but to give them credit, they don't give you any space. In that midfield, they're constantly on you, pressing, howling you. And I think McTominay did so well. Yes, he conceded a goal, but listen, it was a wonder strike from Ayling. So can you hold that against McTominay? I think he has to get in. And I think you agree too, so let's not waste any time.
I do, and I think the one thing that is also important is the fact that if I recall rightly, he actually got voted man of the match, and I think it was by a considerable distance by the United supporters. And I feel it's one of them. I feel everyone's just focused so much on that Pogba-Fernandes partnership, but everyone's forgot about how much good a performance McTominay had.
Including you.
Even me. So anyway, moving on to Antonio, of course, he got a goal, he got an assist. His performance was that good, and he was that pivotal to the comeback. But for me, you can almost, you can write off the fact about the penalty miss. Of course, Souček converted that anyway, but he's just so brilliant and pivotal for West Ham. I think, you know, West Ham fans, they want some signings, of course they do. And I think they probably hope for a striker such as Abraham or someone like that, who's, of course, going to Roma. But I think Antonio is an absolute brilliant forward for them. And I think he showed all his qualities as part of that comeback from against Newcastle. Richarlison had a very good game himself. But for me, I think Richarlison did really well in obviously the fact he got himself a goal and assist as well. But me personally, I just think Antonio had the better overall performance.
Sorry, I've lost my PowerPoint here. I do apologise. No, I don't disagree with that, and I agree that I agree that Antonio is so pivotal in that West Ham side. You look at the goals, the chances that they have every game, points per game when he's playing and when he's not playing. It's chalk and cheese. Would you agree that Richarlison, however, is that player for Everton as to what Antonio is for West Ham?
Definitely in an overall perspective. But having watched both performances, there isn't much in it, but I just feel Antonio slightly edges it for me.
Listen, Richarlison scored a goal. He got an assist. Antonio scored, missed the penalty. And you brushed over that far too easily for my liking. He missed the penalty at 2-2. If Souček doesn't get those reactions, Newcastle go down and score a couple of minutes later. You've gone from potentially being 3-2 up to 3-2 down. And who's getting the blame then? They're looking at Antonio, just like they did for... Who was that young player for Fulham last year who tried the Panenka? Was it Lookman? Adamama Lookman, I think it was. You know, you're looking at him like that. So it's very easy after the fact to look back and say, oh, that didn't matter. It did matter. Believe me, if you were in that ground when he missed that penalty as a West Ham fan, you're thinking, for fuck's sake. So I don't think you can disregard it just because they won 4-2. Because again, it's easy to be an armchair fan after the fact. We have to think big pressure, opening day weekend. He he bottled it. He didn't put his chance away. My last argument for Richarlison before we decide. Not only did he win gold with, not only did he go far with Brazil at the Copa America, he also then got gold at the Olympics. I think he's had like a week off. He's come back in, first game in the season, 3-1 win, goal and an assist. Come on, it's got to be.
Yeah, do you know what? That is a really good point. And as much as, I've argued outside circumstances about Duffy. So you know what? I'll give you this one. You can have Richarlison. But because I really want to argue out this manager one, and those that watch the channel regularly, they're going to be surprised. They're going to be surprised. But it's in fact me that has picked Nuno, and this is coming from the guy that wanted Nuno out at the end of his Wolves tenure. The bloke has had a horrible start to deal with for Spurs. I'm not taking away anything that the Brentford manager have done. Of course, I'm not. The bloke's gone and beaten Arsenal. I mean, but this is an Arsenal team that is just shambolic. And, it's still massive big up to them. But he's had to deal with Harry Kane not turning up. Nuno, whatever that's done to, behind the scenes, he's not really spoke on it. He's kept it professional. He's handled that situation so
That's
well.
What you get with Nuno,
I really feel the team of Tottenham, they all came together, and that does not happen if you don't have a manager that galvanises the players. And this is the Nuno which me as a Wolves fan loved. And I feel that this was the Nuno that we almost lost towards the end. He seems to have his fight back, his passion back. And for me, a win over the champions, Man City, I don't think anyone gave them a chance of winning, to be honest. I think the majority of predictions were in City's favour, probably 90% of them. So, he gave, obviously, Tanganga a run out. He allowed Son to exceed with how he played him as well. So, for me, Nuno has to be the manager of the week.
Do you know what?
I know I've told you this well because you love Nuno as well.
I do. You're pulling on very tender heartstrings on this on this topic.
If you love Nuno as a Wolves manager, you're going to pick him up and drag him.
No, you can't. No, you're not allowed to do that. That's not fair. We get criticised of being biased. The Nuno fan hasn't picked Nuno. We're not biased at all. I've had to go for Frank just because. Listen. Everything that I've said about the keeper and young Ethan Pinnock, I say it for him as well, and more. I think he got his tactics right. Just a shout out as well, and I forgot to mention it. Just a quick one for Ivan Toney. I was going to put him in the forward because he bullied Pablo Mari and Ben White.
Yeah,
absolutely bullied them on his own and just pulled them from pillar to post. But yeah, I had to go with Richarlison. Listen, Frank, for me, could easily have got it. I think he did his homework well on Arsenal, unlike Arteta on Brentford.
Oh, I'm not taking anything away from him, but let's face it, let's get to the point. You're going to concede on this one, aren't you? Drag him over, put Nuno in, manager of the week. So guys, there is the team.
Do you know what twisted my arm? Do you know what twisted my arm? I looked at it solely. I must admit, I had blinkers on. I was looking at it from a performance point of view. And then you mentioned, look at what he's dealt with over the summer.
Kane situation, yeah. That's what swayed it for me as well. Yeah, I was arguing between them two myself, but I just think it's a horrible way for a new manager to have to deal with going straight in, isn't it, to the Kane situation. So, guys, obviously, that is our team of the week. We've got one that we need you guys to help us. So let us know in the comments which of those centre-backs you would have. And I don't know, maybe whoever gets the most votes will include in the final 11. So please do get involved. Pulling back to us for my outro, as always, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. This is going to be a weekly video as well. So we hope you join next week. And we shall see you on the next one.